Well, so I'll be on camera in just a minute, I hope. Everything seems to check out and say it's running. We have a guitar lesson here in the background, but I think they're almost done. Whoop. Okay, hello everybody. Good morning from Breazeale's Grocery Bluegrass at 5109 Liberty Highway, Pendleton, South Carolina. As I said, my name's Mark Stoudemire, and I'm going to be your host today. My co-host, Don Acevedo, is on assignment, so couldn't be here today. Today is Wednesday, February the 5th, 2025, and the weather outside is about 57 degrees right now and sunny. We're expecting the high today to be about 64 with zero chance of rain. So just a cool day in the upstate today. Most of you know about the terrible storms that we had not long ago. So we ask that you keep those who weren't so fortunate as us. We really didn't get hurt too bad, no buildings or anything. So just keep those who were hurt very badly in your prayers here in upstate South Carolina, North Carolina, and wherever the storms hit and did a lot of damage, and it was a lot of places. Let's see if this will work. Well, I guess that's the first glitch. It doesn't want to work. Okay, well, I guess I'm going to be on my own then. Don always does a lot of shout-outs. The remote, for some reason. Oh, there it goes. I'll back it up. Okay, shout-outs go to Jane, Heather, Josh, Carter, Blaine, Hampton, Hudson, Kenzie, Kim, Josh, Blakely, Grant, Syl, Heidi, Charlie, Harper, and always loving Martin, whose picture is right here on the wall. Jane and Don's son, who passed away several years ago. At Breazeale's Grocery Bluegrass, we have music lessons all week. We have fiddle lessons, classical violin lessons, mandolin lessons, bass lessons, guitar lessons. In fact, a guitar lesson with Mr. Gary Bell, Breazeale's primary instructor who teaches guitar and banjo, is wrapping up right now. Don likes to say we teach almost anything with a string on it. We have an Indian sitar from India over here. We do not teach that. Nobody here knows how to play that one, I don't think. I think it's got about 16 or 17 strings on it, of which 11 of them are drones, sympathetic strings. We have excellent instructors, the best in the upstate. For more information, call Don at 864-376-1482. I seem to be getting a little feedback. Let me see if I can move the mic down a little bit. Maybe that will help. Again, Don's phone number is 864-376-1482. Okay, let's see if that'll help a little bit more. Don asks that you please click on the subscribe button down below on your screen to subscribe to the channel. Okay, let me see if it'll go forward one more time. It's operating slow. Don, maybe the battery's going. Well, now I can't get it to go. Huh. He always talks about a sponsor. I guess the sponsor today is Breazeale's Grocery Bluegrass. How about that? This remote is not going to work. So, okay, I'll have to ad lib, but we'll say the sponsor for today is Breazeale's Grocery Bluegrass. Try one more time. Okay. I guess the screen up there is just not going to work. So, Breazeale's is the sponsor today. Call Don at the number that I quoted earlier. If you want to take lessons, or Mr. Bell, Don can put you to Mr. Bell to take guitar lessons or banjo lessons. He also has Charles Wood that teaches banjo on Saturday mornings. one of the greatest banjo players in the state and in the country. One of the very best of all. And also Maren Reeves, who is a symphony player in Anderson, teaches both fiddle and violin here on Tuesday. So if you're interested in either bluegrass fiddle or classical violin, Maren is your person. As I said, she's pretty high chair in the symphony, I think. So call Don, and he will put you with Maren. She's also is in a Celtic band that plays, I think, usually on the fourth Friday at McGee's Irish Pub down in Anderson. So you might check out McGee's to go see them on the little stage that they have at McGee's. Food's good too. Okay, well that's kind of the intro. Now what I thought I would do, mainly today, Don asked me 2 days ago to do this. I thought, why don't I get into a little more of that bluegrass anatomy of the music, and I thought I would primarily do bass, but first of all, I'm going to grab my little 4-string banjo, and I thought I would do our little theme song, and then maybe try to play a couple little tunes on this. I don't know, hope you can hear that. Hope it'll come through. But anyway, we usually open with a little theme song called Hot Corn, Cold Corn. I'll give you just a little bit of it the way we do. Well, hot corn, cold corn, bring along a demijohn. Hot corn, cold corn, bring along a demijohn. Hot corn, cold corn, bring along a demijohn. Farewell, Uncle Bill, see you in the morning. Yes, sir. Well, it's upstairs, downstairs, out in the kitchen. Upstairs, downstairs, out in the kitchen. Upstairs, downstairs, out in the kitchen. See Uncle Bill just a raring and a pitching. Yes, sir. Hot corn, cold corn, bring along a demijohn. Hot corn, cold corn, bring along a demijohn. Hot corn, cold corn, bring along a demijohn. Farewell, Uncle Bill, see you in the morning. Yes, sir. All right. That's our theme song, Hot Corn, Cold Corn. We did that, and I thought I would try a couple of other little tunes for you and play on this banjo. This is, I've talked about this before, I guess. This is basically a little home-built 4-string plectrum banjo. The headstock says gold tone, but the only thing that's gold tone on this banjo is the neck. I bought the neck from Gold Tone. It's a Cripple Creek plectrum banjo neck, a 4-string. A plectrum has the same length of neck as a standard 5-string, and the first 4 strings are tuned just like a 5-string basically, except some plectrum players keep the 4-string tuned down to C, whereas I have it in the D note, so I have a full open G chord, just like the first 4 strings on the 5-string. I've been playing this 4-string a lot because the way I play with my thumb, for the thumb to get up to the 5th string on a 5-string, that sort of tends to slow me down a little bit, sort of a stretch to get up there. But anyway, a little more about the banjo. The rim came from a luthier in Canada, and it's got a little brass tone ring on it, which works very well. The interior hardware came from Stu Mack. The shoes, the brackets in the shoes came from the internet, don't know where. Same thing for the tension hoop that goes around here. The bridge is a 6-string Get Joe bridge that I happen to have. Got wet, so it's kind of moldy, but that's all right. The tailpiece and the head came off of my old Gibson RB250 banjo, and that was an arch top, so you can actually see the marks, the imprint of the arch top on the head here. And the tailpiece came off of that same banjo the last time it was set up. And I don't have it plugged in, but I've actually got a little piezo pickup taped in behind the bridge, so I could be playing it through an amplifier. But anyway, let me try to give you maybe 2 more little songs, and then we'll get the bass, the ukulele bass, and we'll talk a little bit about the structure of bass in bluegrass music. We're going to do a little Fireball Mail for you. Here she comes, look at her go. There she goes, heating up coal. Watch her fly, look at her sail. Let her go by the Fireball Mail. Engineers are making up time. Tracks are clear. Look at her climb. See that freight? Clear the rail. I'll bet you late. Fireball mail. Watch her swerve, look at her sway. Get that curve out of the way. Watch her fly, look at her sail. Let her by the fireball mail. Let her by the fireball mail. Okay, there we go, a little fireball mail. Sorry about my voice, I don't really claim to be a singer, but it makes it a lot more fun if you can fit your voice to your instrument and actually sing some with the music you play. Now you notice I don't play and I've told y'all this before, I can't play a full Scruggs style roll, the fast rolls like the bluegrass players do. I play only with my right hand thumb, so it's a little bit limited in speed. And I only hit about half the notes that a real Scruggs style banjo player plays. So that's why it's less music than you would hear out of a bluegrass banjo player. Let's try one more here. I was going to do, thought I would try to do Boil 'em Cabbage Down here. And I had the lyrics up for it a while ago, so let's see what we got here. Boil cabbage down lyrics, okay. Okay, here we go. I'll try this and then we'll go to the bass and maybe I can teach you something a little useful. Well, boil 'em cabbage down, big hoe cake brown. The only song that I can play is the boil 'em cabbage down. Raccoon up, cinnamon tree, possum on the ground. Never did see a pretty girl that I wouldn't love somehow. Boil 'em cabbage down, big hoe cake brown. Only song that I can play is the boil 'em cabbage down. Yeah. Boil 'em cabbage down, big hoe cake brown. Only song that I can play is the boil 'em cabbage down. Raccoon up the cinnamon tree, possum on the ground. Possum said the old raccoon, shake them cinnamons down. Boil 'em cabbage down, son, big hoe cake brown. Only song that I can play is the boil 'em cabbage down. Okay, maybe that's enough of my trying to play for you. Sorry about the mistakes. I do practice at home, but I seem to be getting I hit the strings with the pad of my thumb, and it seemed to be because of nerves, I guess, getting it caught up a little bit. So let me get the bass, and we'll talk a little bit about the music of the bass in bluegrass. Okay, what I have here is the little ukulele bass. We've got about 15 more minutes, I think. We're about halfway there. Okay, bass and bluegrass. I'm going to show just a very basic bass. In bluegrass and country and rock and probably most of the musics, if you're playing a straight bass, you're gonna hit two notes of the typical chord. Now, if you'll remember, we've talked about this sort of before. Your musical alphabet runs from A to G, right? Then it starts over at A again, an octave higher in pitch. So your musical notes are A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Start over, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Different keys, depending on which note you start on, that would set the key. If I start on a G and run the major scale, I'm in the key of G, which is what we play on most of the time in bluegrass. So the two notes on that scale that the bass generally plays, and you can count them up, the one note of the scale, which is called the root note in a G scale, that would be a G note. And we count up, G is 1, A is 2, B is 3, C is 4, D is 5. So if you hear a bluegrass musician play, and you're playing in G and he says play your 4 chord, G, A, B, C, that would be the C chord. If he says play your 5 chord, that would be your D chord, because that's the 5th note of the G scale. And the 3 main chords in our kind of music, probably most kind of music, are the 1 chord, the 4 chord, and the 5 chord, okay? On bass, the 2 notes we're going to primarily play are the 1 note and the 5 note. So if we're playing in G, I'm hearing feedback. If we're playing in G, we're going to play on the 1 beat. Most bluegrass you can count in what we call 4/4 time. That's 4 beats to the measure, where a quarter note gets 1 beat. If you know music, you'll understand what I'm saying, but most bluegrass you can count in 4s, like there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. That's the old song. There's a well-beaten path on the old mountainside where I wandered when I was a lad. So you hear I'm hitting 2 notes, and I'm hitting the bass on the 1 beat when I say 1, and I'm hitting the 5 note on the 3 beat. That's typically the way you're going to play. You're going to hit the root of the chord on 1. You're going to hit the 5 note of the chord on 3. In a G chord, if we're playing in a G, the root is the G note, which on the bass, the typical this bass, and also the upright here, the first string is an open G note, okay? The second string is an open D note, which is your 5 note. So in other words, in a G chord, we don't even have to fret anything. What we do is we hit the G note, the first string on 1, and the strings start at the floor, 1, 2, 3, 4. We hit the first string on 1, and we hit the second string, which is a D note, which is the 5 note on the 3. Now in bluegrass, the guitar player is probably going to be hitting his bass note on 1 and 3, just like the bass. His strum will be on the 2 count and the 4 count. So he would go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the mandolin and the banjo, if they're chopping, they're primarily going to also chop on the, their chop's going to be on the 2 and the 4. So if I'm a banjo player chopping in G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, it will be like that. So if we go back to the bass, you're going to sort of provide the glue by hitting on the 1 and 3, and then when you hit, typically in bluegrass, you'll deaden your string. You want it to sound and then dampen, like. See what I'm doing with my left hand here? I'm just dampening it. Okay, that's the G chord. Now, as I said, your 5 chord is the chord that's most often used in our kind of music with the 1 chord. Obviously, the 1 chord is the key you're in, but the 5 chord is the chord used next. It's called the dominant chord, or if you want to add a 7th note to it, it'd be the dominant 7th. So let's do Across the Blue Ridge Mountains, just a 2-chord song. It's going to have a G chord and the 5 chord of G, which is the D, G, A, B, C, D is 5. So my home's across a Blue Ridge Mountain. Now I'm going to D. Home's across a back to G. Turn my home's across a Blue Ridge Mountain. D, and I never expect to see you in a G. Now we've got through that. Now if I were singing the count to that, like I sometimes do, I'd say, oh my, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you see how that works. The bass does the 1 note on the first beat and the 5 note typically on the 3 beat. Now that covered 2 chords. The 4th chord is called the subdominant chord, and it's the 4th note of the scale, so G, A, B, C. So C chord in the key of G is your next most used chord, and I'll do, let's do a little She'll Be, well I can go back and do that Blue Ridge Cabin Home because it goes to the 4 chord first. It has 2 measures of G, the 1 chord, then followed by 2 measures of C, the 4 chord, followed by 2 measures of D, the 5 chord, followed by 2 measures of G to get you to the end, and then it all starts over. So let me kind of play that. Now the C chord we have to fret something. I said the 2nd string is a D on this instrument, on the bass. The 3rd string is an A. So if we want a note of C, we have to go A, A sharp on the 1st fret, B on the 2nd fret, C on the 3rd fret. Remember, on a keyboard, a piano, there's no black key between B and C and E and F. So they're only half step, but they don't have any sharp or flat name attached with them. So if on the A string, if the 3rd fret is a C, the 4th string is E, so open it's E, 1st fret is F. Remember again, there's no incidental or black key between E and F. The 2nd fret on the 4th string is F sharp, and the 3rd fret on the 4th string is our G note, which is our 5 note in C. C, D, E, F, G is the 5 note. So the simplest way to play this chord I'm going to show you right now is on the 1 beat, you'll hit the 3rd string, 3rd fret. On the 3 beat, you'll go above that to the 4th string and hit the 3rd fret on the 4th string. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. All right, let's put that in a song. Remember, well beaten path on the old mountainside, we're gonna do 2 measures of G. The first change will be to C, next change will be to D, okay? And I'm going to do 1s and 5s, and I'm going to do them on the 1 beat and the 3 beat. There's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, G, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a well-beaten path on C, old mountainside D. Wondered when I was a G, and I wandered along C, the place I call home. D, a Blue Ridge Hills for a G. Oh, I love those hills for the C. D, a Blue Ridge Hills I did roam. When I die, won't you bury me in the Massey? For D, way near my Blue Ridge Mountain home. Okay, that's pretty much it for a simple look at the bass. The key of G is the one we probably most often play in here at Breazeale's because banjos are tuned to open G chord. And G, C, and D chords, they're pretty easy to make on the guitar, and they're very familiar. So if we're going to play in A, the guitars are going to, and banjos are going to put a capo on the 2nd fret, which basically moves the nut up 2 frets to make the open strings an A chord. You'll see the really professional bluegrass people play in B and B flat a lot, so B flat would be capo 3. B would be capo 4, and then that gives them the open strings for their B or B flat chord. So anyway, let's do one more right quick. We're almost out of time here, but I'll do one everybody will know called "Coming Around the Mountain," and it's going to have the 1 chord, the 4 chord, and the 5 chord. She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming around the mountain. Here's your D. She'll be coming around the mountain. Here's your C. Coming around the mountain. D. Coming around the mountain when she comes. She'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. D. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. G. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, C. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4. D. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. But she'll be riding 6 white horses when she comes. She'll be riding 6 white horses when she comes. Gary's rocking to the beat. She'll be riding 6 white horses. She'll be riding 6 white horses. She'll be riding 6 white horses when she comes. And there you have it. That's basically what we do on the bluegrass bass. I hope everything came out all right. We've got just a few more minutes. Let Don know if y'all have any questions or want to start. Mr. Bell's here now. You want to come talk about your lessons for a minute? I got about a minute if you want to talk about your lesson. I'll give you this microphone. This is Mr. Gary Bell. He's our banjo and guitar teacher on Wednesdays here most all day Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
Mr.
Thank you.
Bell?
Thank you, Mark.
You're welcome.
Appreciate the opportunity to share our expertise here at the Breazeale Grocery on Wednesday.
Look at that camera.
We're talking about guitar, banjo, mandolin right here. So come on down. Banjo. If you're a beginner, hey, Cripple Creek, All Them Cabbages Down, Where's Man Blues. If you're an intermediate player on banjo and you've never had instructions on backup banjo, I've got the subject right here. I'll make you a good backup banjo player in short time, and we'll have fun joining the circle here on Saturday night.
Right.
So come on down and sign up.
I didn't talk about Saturday night, did I? There's
No.
bluegrass here from 6:30 to whenever, every Saturday night, and from 6:30 to usually around 8, there's a circle that any level of musician is welcome to come and sit in, and they pass the mic around, sort of like an old-time guitar pull, they would call it. And if you want to play one yourself, everybody will accompany you. If you want to pass, you can pass if you don't feel quite ready, and you get to play rhythm and play with the others and try to play breaks if you play breaks. So come on Saturday night, come check it out at 6:30 right here at Breazeale's at 5109 Liberty Highway. And I think we're almost done, but
Have a good day.
Thank you, Mr. Bell, Mr. Gary Bell. Bill always, Don always talks about Mr. Larry Bell, Gary's late brother, who was Don's first teacher here. If you see this banjo, I don't know if you can see it hanging here. That's Larry's picture on it, but Larry was Don's first instructor, and when he passed away several years ago, Mr. Gary Bell took right over in his spot. So Gary's here most all day on Wednesday. He will work with you. So anyway, call Breazeale's Grocery Bluegrass. Did you give your phone number, Gary?
864-517.
864-517.
0044.
0044. So call that number and you'll talk to Mr. Gary Bell and he will set you up with lessons. Well, gang, I believe that's all. I hope you've got something out of this today, and I'm going to sign off. It'll take me a minute to get over to the panel and shut her down, but come back next week. Don should be back. Sorry he wasn't here today, and I hope we did something that helps you today. So I'm going to go shut down. See you next week.